afraid, first of all, because of the stigma that is associated to speaking to very controversial issues, right? Because the things that Adam, for instance, can speak very freely to on this platform, I will do the same thing, and if I am not lucky, by the time I get home, you know, the headlines won't be the same. Because how dare I talk about these things? Look at how nicely dressed Adam is seated here, wearing a suit, beautiful, well-tailored. I am just wearing a dress. But nobody cares about how Adam's hair is well trimmed. If I share comments on something that's very controversial, as a woman, the focus will shift from what I said to how I look. And I speak to a lot of women because on Wednesdays on GH1 TV, our morning show hosts just women. And you consistently see the same faces. And these are the ones who are bold enough to come and talk. And even with those ones, you know, sometimes when they say something, afterwards they're like, please, can you edit it and cut something? This part, don't put it on social media. And that's because of the stigma, the stereotype, the things that they're going to say, the attacks they're going to receive, the backlash. All of those things hinder people, especially women, from coming out and getting involved in politics. Another thing is, there's very low representation of women. Even as I say that, I also have to say that President Mahama has done really well, you know, because he made a promise of appointing a certain number of women. He's done very well. The vice president alone is a testament that we're heading somewhere as a nation when it comes to women, female representation. But there's still a lot more that can be done. And in Parliament today, there are 266 members of Parliament. 276, I beg your pardon. Out of that, just 41 are women. That's just about some 14.9%. If you go to Rwanda, for instance, it's not the same. They have at in Parliament, for instance, the Deputy Senates, they have about 51. Women have about 51 out of the 80 seats there. They are making progress, and I firmly believe that very soon we are going to get there. Look, when we see young women, like we saw Joanne, we saw the Maslow, the Student Loan Trust Fund CEO, we see Zanetto, we see so many other young, beautiful ladies, women in politics. It encourages other people to also venture into it, make their voices heard without the fear of being stigmatized, without the fear of the stereotypes and the backlash and whatnot. So I think that really, as a people, we can do better. President Mahama has set the pace. Whoever comes after him should follow suit and even try to do better than he has done. As media people as well, in my capacity, encourage more women to get into the space like you are doing now. I mean, at my level and where I am, there's really nothing that you can say that will stop me from speaking my mind. But it took me a lot of time and a lot of work to be able to get there. But in the past, I wouldn't even dare, you know, speak on certain issues because I'm a woman. And I have given you, and I can actually give you like a plethora of examples why we face some of these things. And the women who are also in these positions must come out. No, you know, I see a lot of young ladies here who I know are looking for mentors, right? You want female leaders to mentor you, to hold your hand and actually lead you in the right way. There are a few people, but I think that more can be done. A lot of the women here, I know that Zanetto will probably have a lot of mentorship programs that she's running on her own. I know that Obobia is doing her own thing, and many other people. If we're able to hold the hands of the young people coming up, it's going to make a lot of difference. Yeah.
If we are able to hold the hands of the young people coming up, it's going to make a lot of difference. Let me get to Sabina. You've waited for your turn for a long time, I can see. So, from your end, where you sit, I want you to share your perspective with us on the consideration of the youth and policy making. Do you think we've done enough or we've done well as a country?
Thank you very much. I would also like to honor all the protocol that has been duly observed over and over again. Honestly, it's never too much. A lot of work has gone in to put this together, and nipa yadia osayi. Now, to get to the point, short answer is yes. However, there's more room for improvement. A lot of room for improvement. And we are taking steps in the right direction. We are here today because we want to make a change in that. Now, young people are being heard, obviously. Many of us have heard here today, and it has been repeated over and over. Voices of the youth are being heard, and the youth are expressing their opinions on social media from time to time. However, you realize that it kind of ends there. We are bold enough to speak now. We wouldn't have some years back. We are bold enough to speak now. However, it just ends at the speech. Sometimes we even push and get to protesting, but still not much is done. After the protest, we are still not satisfied. So we know that we are speaking, we are pushing, but it's not enough. And I'd like to give a practical example to buttress my point. So let's say in a home setting, right? Your parent wants to cook, and they come to you and they ask you, hey, I want to cook ampesi today. What would you like to eat? And then you say, I'd like to eat rice. Then they go ahead and make ampesi anyway. Did they consult you? Yes. Did they do what you asked? No. So what was the point? And that is where we are at right now. What needs to change? Okay, you want to eat rice, and I want to cook ampesi. How about we make ampesi for lunch and rice for dinner? So we'll have the same sauce, maybe kontomire, and then we have kontomire with rice and with ampesi. You have been heard, and what you said also made a difference. Another thing, let's cook together. Come make lunch with me. So you are part of the process. Now you know how ampesi is being made. You know how rice is also being made. Next time your parents is not around, they entrust you to be able to cook rice, to cook ampesi on your own. And then the sequence continues. As you also grow up, you drag your younger ones with you to do the same thing. Then there's succession planning as well. Everything goes on smoothly. You feel like you are a part of the decision, and you feel like you can actually make it happen. A lot of the time, people sit back and think that, yeah, the government has to do this for us. The government has to solve this for us. What are you doing yourself? And it's because we haven't been involved much. So we think it is someone else's responsibility to do these things for us. And we have come a long way, and we still have a longer way to go. So far, so good. But I'd like to end with the fact that it is good to have all of us here to take steps to make sure that the little we have done will be topped up and improved greatly. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sabina. I think I'll go back to Honorable Asafo-Adjei. Yes. As a young legislator, I mean, you've stated a lot of points in your earlier submission, but what are some of the opportunities or biggest opportunities from your point of view? So you would answer that, and then I'll throw back to Honorable Ademagbana to also take his bit on that same one. What are some of the biggest opportunities you think that young people can actually take advantage of for their voices to be heard as part of decision-making in the country?
So I have an opportunity of time. I know of a member of parliament now who tried attempting to get into parliament for the past 20 years now. He told me he's in parliament now. He's a former CEO of Exim Bank. Said, this is the 20th year I am getting into the parliament. I tried, sometimes I win primaries, lose the main elections, I lose primaries and all that. Now This is the first time I won primaries and I won the main elections, and I am in parliament. 20 years. Now, at this point and age, he is even getting close to 60. Doesn't have enough strength and other things, doesn't have all those, energy to do the kind of things. But the opportunity I have is that I am very fortunate that at this age, I am in parliament. I have the opportunity of time on my side. When I make few mistakes, I will learn. When I do well, I will progress. So I still have the opportunity of growth. Now, in Ghana, in parliament, we have a whole lot of programs, training, opportunities that even if you don't get to go or attend or participate today, the fact that you are around, you learn about it today, and tomorrow when you are given the opportunity to do it, you will do it well and better. So I have those opportunities. But my seniors and people, the oldies, do not have this opportunity now. Perhaps when they miss it today, and I think that is why Parliament will do a lot of seniority there. Because when they miss it today, you do not know when they will get the opportunity to come back again. So we have that. Now, again, you see, I am privileged to a lot of information that would help me make a lot of informed decisions. Some of the information are digital. Some of the information are the connections and the network I have built. Some of the opportunities are the experiences old men and old women or seniors are sharing, which I have the privilege to learn from. These are things that are available to me now that I can learn from. I was telling somebody that in Bosome Frehu, my political party do not have a problem, largely, because it is a stronghold. But we've never had a member of parliament that had gone 2 terms before. It is not that you lose the general elections. No, even the NDC understands that in Bosome Frehu, they are only inching up or closing up their margins. But within your internal party primaries, you may not come back again. So it has been 1 term, different MPs, but it is the same the MPP. Now, I have the opportunity of taking my time to learn why people have not been able to do 2 terms. I have the opportunity to study and take clues from things that have happened so that I could make it right. If I'm not able to make it right, then it means I didn't learn anything. Or maybe I failed to take advantage of the situations that have happened. So the young ones, we have the opportunity of hindsight, and we have opportunity to review some of the things that we will make. The prayers and what we must hope for, that the mistakes we will make may not be grave that will end our careers. That is what we should pray for. That we are human beings. We'll make mistakes. The exuberance will drive you into saying things, to doing things that you may not necessarily, or you may not upon hindsight. I remember there was a time me and Adam was on TV3. Myself and Adam. I mean, those who don't know, we go way back. We are good friends. Maybe here we may not speak, but when we step out, we'll do a lot of things we cannot do it on set here. So there was a program, and Adam said something. I mean, it got me fired up, and I came back strong. I go back home, and I watch the TV again. I watch the scenes again, and I wish if I had the opportunity, I would not have said it the way I said it. The point I'm making is that our exuberance would drive us to do few mistakes and few things. Our prayers should always be that the mistakes and the few things that we do should not or may not end us or kill our dreams. I think this will be enough. Thank you.
So, Honorable Adam, please, we have to break up into sessions. So, please, Inajifi, share your thoughts here.
All right, thank you. I think that despite all the challenges that we have mentioned, we have a number of opportunities as well. The first opportunity is the fact that leadership is aware that they must give young people the opportunity. And that is why, listen to the speeches of all the political figures, even those in their 80s. When they climb the stage, they pretend or want to portray that they are young. They want to associate with us. They want to belong to our bracket. It means they see the potentials, and so they see the need to identify with us. That, for me, is a big opportunity that we have to take advantage of. Opportunity number 2 is the fact that we have evidence of performance by young people. Let me give you a brief story. When I went to Ketu North and I wanted to be member of parliament, I was the youngest in the race. Were 8 people in the contest in the primaries. Very, very difficult contest. And the biggest challenge, the biggest propaganda against me was that I was too young. Now, if they say you don't have money, you don't have this, you don't have that, you can put up an appearance. People call it settings. But for age, there's nothing you can do about your age. So I owned it up. I accepted that yes, I am young, but I needed evidence to prove that I could do it. So quickly, the likes of Sam George, I referred to the kind of things that they were doing in their constituency and said, Sam George entered much younger than I want to enter. So if he's able to do this in Ningo Pram Pram, I can also do same. The likes of Okujetua Blakwa, the likes of Kojo Opo Nkrumah, and others. So across the political parties, I needed evidence of younger people who had the opportunity and they performed. And I must say it helped, especially when Sam George himself showed up a couple of weeks to the elections and spoke to the delegates and said, look, when I was entering, I was only 28 years. This is the same fears you have about Edem. My people had the same fears about me. But they had their bet on me, and today we've been able to achieve A, B, C, and D. That for me was also a key game changer. So today, young people who want a space in the decision-making room can point to younger people or young people who are doing well in that space as the evidence for which reason we can also rise. The last opportunity we have is the fact that globally, the conversation is shifting to solution-driven, technology-backed conversation. And we are the people that are more savvy with the technology conversation. Today, every leader is struggling to use teleprompter to make a presentation. Who are the best people to set all of those, to put those machines and to put that technology at your disposal? It is the young people. So we have opportunities. And I must say, we've made significant progress. Today, we have many more young people occupying positions. We have many more young people in parliament. The last time, the Right Honorable Speaker said, this is the most youthful parliament in the Fourth Republic. It means we are making progress. However, we must move beyond just the numbers to ensure that whatever policies and programs we have for the youth are sustainable. I have been very particular, and Osman knows my views about this, that governments should stop giving tokens to young people and provide them with sustainable opportunities. The tokenism is too much. And this morning, I had the privilege of having breakfast with the Minister for Youth, my former boss, the commander, the National Youth Organizer of the NDC. And he made a statement. One of his biggest fears is that with all these programs that we are giving young people, when they are out of the program, without acquiring any skills, without having any sustainable platform, what would the future look like for them? That should be the thinking of everybody occupying positions of influence today.
Wow, a round of applause for Honorable Edem Agbana. But to Sewa, in about 60 seconds, there are a lot of young ladies here. Some really wish to get into leadership, to be able to speak to issues, to take part in decision making. To the young Sewame here sitting here, what will you tell her in 60 seconds?
In 60 seconds. I'll try. I mean, you know, The first thing I'll say is, even without being given a platform like television, there's social media. We have seen young people make their voices heard and considered because of their activism on social media. Social media is a very powerful tool now. And if you decide to go on a particular course and champion that course and stay on course, you cannot be ignored. They would have no choice than to listen to you and input what you're saying into whatever policy decisions they are making. I'll give a very brief, story. Yes, look, Adam, I don't know if you remember this story, but Adam once came on my show, and he was on with an older man who said, "You, this young boy, when we are talking," you remember that day? "You, this young boy, when we are talking, then you two, you want to talk some," And I was so angry because I said, what has his young age got to do with what he's saying? It makes no sense. But one thing that Adam has taken advantage of also, even before he became an MP, social media. So every now and again, he would drop an opinion there on what is not being done right, what he thinks can be done. Even as an MP, you still see him talk about rent issues, talk about other things on social media. It's a very powerful tool. And I think that we need to take advantage of it. If you are not using social media for the right things, this is your cue to do that. And finally, I just hope that we're able to continue this conversation about bridging the gap and including the youth in a lot of the things that we do. So Osman, well done. I hope that it doesn't end here and we're able to, because this is a conversation that must be sustained. We can't just have it today and then we go back to bed. It's like another talk shop and it ends there. We have to continuously do it, drum it in the minds and the ears of our politicians and our policymakers. And we're happy to have, lawmakers here. And I'm sure that, they'll take our concerns there. There's going to be a breakout session, right? And tomorrow as well, there'll be questions. So if you have anything, please, they are all here. Yeah. They are listening. Osman is on TV every morning. These are the people who will come in the meantime, be championing the things that you want to say that you cannot. Yeah. So let's make our voices heard.
Let's make our voices heard. A round of applause for Sewa. I'm here. So, Sabina, 60 seconds. Your final words.
My final words will be that let us modernize civic education to be appealing to everybody. Because growing up, we just felt like governance was reserved for politicians. But governance is for everybody. Let's not leave it up to people who are interested in politics to be the ones to run the country. Let us know how it works. Do formal and informal and practical education. Give examples that make sense to the young ones so that they know that they are involved from the jump. When we sing, we are all involved, it's not because it is a song that was created for nothing. It's because we really are involved. Thank you.
We really are involved. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on this panel discussion. I know you have taken one cue or two, many nuggets. I see people's notebooks have been flipping a lot of pages. But before we go, as young people, I want to leave you all with a charge. So at IES, we have something we say. I will, I can, and I must. So this afternoon, I want to leave you with that. So if I say the National Youth Conference 2025, say I will, I can, and I must. National Youth Conference 2025, I will, I can, I must. And certainly we will, we can, and we must. We will not fail our generation. God bless us all.
Photographers, please take a picture of our panel members for us. And let's give them a round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen. And as they take their pictures, let me quickly indulge you briefly in one of my very favorite poems, written about some 9-10 years ago. I call it Tell Them. When anyone asks you why I behave like I do, Tell them that I'm a young man from far whose destiny has brought me this near. Tell them that I cannot afford to fail the very people who look up to me on a daily for inspiration. Tell them that as a mission unaccomplished, and so I cannot stop to take second stares at barking dogs, that I am my own motivation. Tell them that I'm that young man with a vision on a mission to a destination that will redeem my people from condemnation. Tell them that I'm that small black boy who wouldn't stop until I reach. Tell them that I'm a descendant of the spear holder, the warrior king. He who goes to the stream with a basket, he who weaves rocks with his palms. Indeed, tell them that I'm a true pedigree of the legendary leader Ndeura Japa, the warrior king who came from far and never failed. Tell them that I'm a grandson of the conqueror. Tell them that the wildlife of Mole is my playground, that I am spiritually fortified by the azan of the muazzin at Larbanga. Tell them that a mystic stone listens to my prayers at all times. Tell them that I hail from Daboya, the land of the white gold. Tell them that the fabrics of my batakari are carefully selected by the best of smoke weavers. Their patterns arranged by the magnificent maidens enameled in melanin. Tell them that I'm not a hungry child, that my home is a cradle of agriculture, the hub of food, and the pond of fish. Tell them that the Dakar, the white and black Volta lakes pass through my grandfather's house. Tell them that I'm a lion who hunts not wounded animals, that I'm bold, I'm brave, I'm fearless, and I hail from the savannah. Tell them that I will stay and build. Like an Nkrumah, I'll redeem my people from the hands of oppression. Tell them that I'm a Mandela set for a new and united Africa. Tell them that I'm the voice of a Lumumba, the fist of a Kagame. Tell them that the Mediterranean will not have a feel of my flesh, that I will stay and build. Tell them that I'm an African rising high to the tippy top of the Kilimanjaro, flowing through the Zambezi, the Nile, and the Dakar. And tell them that although my founding fathers are no more, I shall carry on with their works till I am no more. For growth knows no barriers and has no expiration dates. And so as long as the human species continues to multiply, so shall I grow, and so tell them. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. At this juncture, I shall now announce the breakout rooms. And after that, Kwampa would treat us to some really, really good music. So group 1, you're staying in the main auditorium that is here. And you'd be told which groups you are going to. I'm told that the original coordinators would inform you of which groups you're going to be in. So group 1, you're staying here in the main auditorium. Group 2, you're going to the Samuel William Dufour Hall. That's for group 2. Group 3, you're going to the J. Kofi Kwe Auditorium. Group 3. Group 4, you're going to the Children Resource Center. I'll start it again. Group 1, you're staying here in the main auditorium. That is the Joseph Eji Pencil Auditorium. So group 1, you're going to be here. And the workshop is from Skills to Enterprise, Apprenticeship for Youth Development. Group 2, you're staying here in the main auditorium for the you're going to the Samuel William Dufour Hall, pardon me. And the topic is Code and Confidence, Igniting Her Spark, Empowering Women in the Age of AI. And this will be facilitated by UNDP. Group 3, she leads session on girls and young women participation in political leadership. You're going to the J. Kofi Kwe Auditorium, and your session is being led by Plan Ghana. Group 4 is an entrepreneurship masterclass facilitated by the Ghana Chamber of Young Entrepreneurs, and you are going to the Children Resource Center. And so please take note of that. The other classes, of course, would also follow up in the other groups. I'm told that each group would have 2 separate classes or 2 separate sessions. And so group 1, you are staying here. Group 2, Samuel William Dufour Hall. Group 3, J. Kofi Kwe Auditorium. And group 4 is the Children Resource center. Your regional coordinators would inform you appropriately which of the rooms you're going to be in or which of the sessions you're going to be participating in. Once again, my name is Eura Adams Karim. I work with Wezo TV as host of the Wezo TV Breakfast Cafe. I've been your master of ceremony for this particular session. Thank you so much for your time. God bless. Kwampa, please take it away.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Let's do this.
Arise, Ghana youth, for your country. The nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to uphold her and make her great and strong. TBU. Arise, Ghana youth, for your country. The nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to uphold her.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated. Please remain seated for a quick announcement. Please wait for a quick announcement.
Hello. All the secondary schools have been assigned groups, breakout sessions. Please, teachers, lead them to those breakout sessions up here. Yeah. So, so our coordinators will lead you to the breakout session. That is up here, about 50 meters from this place. Some will be here. The rest of us, okay. So our regional directors, please make sure you put your guys into 4 groups, and then we move them to those places. Now. Okay. Kwampa.
Over to you, Kwampa.
We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building a mother. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building a motherland. Involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building a motherland. Arise, Ghana youth, for your country. The nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to uphold her and make her great and strong. Arise, Ghana youth, for your country. The nation demands your devotion. Let us all unite to uphold her and make her great and strong. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building a mother. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building a mother. We are all involved. We are all involved. We are all involved in building a motherland. All right. Inke uplayoko echesembe ibomocho fefel isumomi wobe mikashimi wo ibajemi mipilake minizane ikemi yake eye oya woyo
yetema ebe keboya eba keboya keboya dedo fevo wo yo ya bimo gemia Wanya America yetema ebe keboya eba keboya keboya Last one. They say I smile too much. I'm way too hot. I'm too spirited. I'm cool tempered. They say my dance is silly, yo. My girls are hips, yo. I love my soca. All my ladies is the sugar. I'm made in Ghana. I'm made in Ghana. I'm made in Ghana. I'm made in Ghana. You can take me to London, but I'm made in Ghana. You can take me to Lagos, but I'm made in Konyeme. You are made in Ghana. You are made in Ghana. You are made in Ghana. I'm made in Ghana. You can take me to London, but I'm made in Ghana. You can take me to Lagos, but I'm made in Ghana. They say I smile too much. I'm way too hot. I'm too spirited. I'm cool tempered. They say my dance is silly, yo. My girls are hips, yo. I love my soca. All my ladies is a sugar. I'm made in Ghana. I'm made in Ghana. I'm made in Ghana. I'm made in Ghana. You can take me to London, but I'm made in Ghana. You can take me to Lagos, but I'm made in Koribieme. You are made in Ghana. You are made in Ghana. You are made in Ghana. I'm made in Ghana. You can take me to Mr. Akoto. Ghana, you can take me to Lagos, but I'm made every year. I'm made in Ghana. You are made in Ghana. You are made in Ghana. I'm made in Ghana. You can take me to London, but I'm made in Ghana. You can take me to Lagos, but I'm made in Ghana. Thank you.
Hello. Please, group 1 will be in this hall. Group 1, which is the main auditorium, Joseph G. Painter Hall. Group 2 will go to William Dufour Hall. That is 50 meters from here, up here. And then group 3, you are going to Children's Resource Center. That's also up there. Group 3 will go to J. Kofi. That's also up there. And then group 4, Children Resource Center. So group 1 will be here. If you are in group 1, please remain here. The secondary schools that are assigned here, please be here. You can be in the middle. Yes. Group 3, J. Kofi Kwe Auditorium, up here, 50 meters from here. Yeah, please, let's split. Go to your various halls. The PWDs, please come to this side. Please come to my side, the PWDs. Group 1 here. Group 2. Group 2 out 50 meters from here. Please scan the QR code. You see the program. Group 2, William Dufour Hall. Group 3, J. Kofi Auditorium. Group 4, Children Resource Center.
I'll give you to this man. Alliance of Young Entrepreneurs. No, his own was not Commonwealth. His own was Alliance of Young Entrepreneurs, not the Common. So this man will take you from a different platform. No, I know. All right. So wherever we are going for, hey bro, how are you? We go through then.
Regional directors, please facilitate the groupings. Regional directors, mobilize them to the various halls. Regional directors, district directors, please mobilize them. If you are in this hall, be seated here. We are supposed to be here. Please be seated. Group 2, William Dufour Hall. Please go 50 meters from here. Group 3, J. Kofi, that's also up there. And then Group 4, Children Resource Center, that's also up there. Group 1s are supposed to be here. No, Group 1, whether you are in whatever region, you are supposed to be here, yes. Yeah, PWDs, please come. Are you the only one? The rapporteur coordinators. Rapporteurs, please coordinate them. Rapporteurs, please coordinate them. Which group? No, I wanted to find out. You said there are groups. Entrepreneurship, masterclass, where based on, okay. So we are doing this for masterclass will be in the Children Resource Center. Yeah. Entrepreneurship masterclass, Children Resource Center. Regional directors, put them into 4 groups and then get them to the various halls. If anybody has a particular interest in a topic, you can go to that hall. Rapporteurs for Group 1, please, where are you? Please coordinate them, put them together. Hello. Please, are you all in? If you are in Group 1, please come to this side.
Opportunities in agriculture sector will be
That will be in here. That's agro. That will be here. Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
because opportunities in agribusiness.
It's here. It's supposed to be here.
They only mentioned
No.
four. They
No,
didn't
so
include
each group will do 2 sessions. So this session, this group will do 2 sessions. The first one, skills towards enterprise, and then they'll do the opportunities in agro too.
Okay. I wanted to attend this one, the one regarding agribusiness. I don't know whether it's this one. Yes. It will be here. It will be here. Yeah. Thank you so much.
About 50 meters from here. Just take out there.
Organization now.
One other fear, why interpret? If I interpret, if I chop.
Facilitator. You know, I'm sending my money away. Program for Agra.
Agra be a second one. So Agra fire already on starting.
Agra fire, we are ready on no starting, but I'm
Agra 4 hours. Agra. Please, where are the Agra officials? Agra officials. TVET. TVET 2 is supposed to be here. Okay. TVET. Okay. So TVET will start.
So it's opportunities.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are very welcome to this session on apprenticeships for youth development. My name is Elsia Samwa. I'm a youth leader fellow from UNFPA, United Nations Population Fund, and I'm honored to be your moderator for today. So before I start, is anyone following the Ghanaian match? Anyone following? Hey, yo, you don't even know we are playing. Oh, we are following, So, first half, yes. So now Ghana has won. If you hear go, shout. I want to know. You are hungry? Oh. Let's channel that. Please, coordinator, we are hungry. We are hungry. Send us food. But we'll be done very soon. So please give me attention for the next 40 minutes. Sorry? I'm only a messenger. Why do you want to fight with me? 40 minutes, 4-0. 2 o'clock. It will be 2:40. 2:40. It will be time for lunch. Okay, let's move on. All right, so before we have the panel discussion, I would want to invite our keynote speaker. She's a Deputy Director General for GT Vet Service, and she's here in the person of Madame Abdul Fattah Maiga. Nana Mensa. Please give her a round of applause while she gives us the keynote address. Okay, all right. So since she's so kind, she's considering the fact that we are hungry, and so we'd like to start with a panel discussion. Can you join me to welcome the distinguished members of the panel? We have Madame Nanama Mensah. Please give a round of applause. We have Mr. Tony Senaye. Forgive me if I don't mention it correctly. The CEO of Horseman Shoes. Oh, please keep clapping. Thank you. Can you also help me welcome Mr. Nicodemus Derry, the National Coordinator for the National Apprentice Program. Please keep clapping while he takes his seat. Thank you so much. All right. Do we have any entrepreneurs in our midst? Only 1, 2, 3. No entrepreneurs? You are all what? You are all entrepreneurs. So raise your hand. Do we have any entrepreneurs in our midst? Good. Thank you. Any apprentices? No apprentices. Okay. So our topic today is from skills to enterprise, apprenticeships for youth development. In the face of the high soaring percentage of youth unemployment that we have in Ghana, we would want to explore apprenticeship as a major pathway to attain decent work or decent jobs and then employment for the youth. And so that is why we are having this discussion this afternoon. And I believe it is very integral and very timely. I would want to begin with a question. It goes to everyone, so it will go around. The first question. So when we talk about apprenticeship, I think one of the basic things that comes to the minds of most people is maybe learning a trade or learning a skill. I would want us to redefine what apprenticeship is. How do we redesign apprenticeship to instill the mindset of entrepreneurship in the minds of the youth today. So over to you. I'll begin from my far left.
Right. Thank you, and it's a privilege to be having this conversation with all of us today. And apprenticeship and skills, they are two inseparable elements, kind of conjoined twins. What are skills? Skills simply refers to the ability to do something well. If you are a skilled hairdresser, it means you are able to plait or do hair well. Apprenticeship simply talks about an arrangement of learning where a learner attends the learning processes practically and learns from someone that has competency in that field that the apprentice wants to learn from or the learner wants to learn from. And so the team of the National Apprenticeship Program, which is Skills for Prosperity, Empowering Ghana's Future, and the whole of today we've been talking about youth being the future of today, being the future of Ghana. Skills learning is a key way to go. Apprenticeship generally has been through the informal sector, and we are envisaging not just to provide skill training, but ensure that the people that are learning the skills transform those skills into established entrepreneurships. And so how do we do that? We need to ensure that the learning process itself has embedded in it the mindset of entrepreneurship. And so with the National Apprenticeship Program, it's a key component of it. We are not just providing skills to apprentices and learners. There's a 30% of soft skill training and 70% practical engagement in the trade area. And so the 30% of skills for entrepreneurship includes soft skills like digital marketing, mindset, and collocation. And so the way to go is conscientization of everyone to see the need to polish up a skill or learn a skill and ensure that that skill is scalable enough.
Thank you so much. Move on to Mr. Toyin. Can you please mention your second name for me?
Nicodemus Namin Better Dometiero.
Hey, thank you, sir. Mr. Toyin, please can you mention your second name?
Hi, good afternoon.
Good
My
afternoon.
name is Tony Senaya. So when you say Senaya, I'm sure you read the E as E, but it's Senaya.
Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I'm a shoemaker. Well, now I make bags too, so I work in the leather industry. Please, has anyone heard of horseman shoes before? Oh, yeah, then we are doing well. So on the subject of apprenticeship, well, we learned by doing. You know, now that we are hearing the academic definitions and all that, so in the area that I work, you will hear apprentice every day, anytime, throughout the 15 years that I have been working with leather. And within recent years, the challenge has been that we don't even get people to train. So apprenticeship is just being attached to a master craftsman and then learning the trade or the skill from them. It is a whole set, very informalized. So you learn their attitude, you learn the skill, the way they behave, what they eat from the workplace, the associations, their trade secret and all that. So I was very happy when the president mentioned that they would want to introduce this to solve the problem that we are facing. And it's not only in even the leather industry. When you go, mechanics are complaining. They don't have people to work with. In fact, people to train. Tailors are complaining. Barbers. And me, for instance, in the locality where I operate in Kumasi, I sent out a notice to my church that we want to train people for free. The tradition has been that in the olden days, your mother or your guardian will take you to a master craftsman, and then you pay some fees. In addition, you bring tools that the master will ask you to come with. But for us, we said, look, we will do it for free because we needed people to train and also pass on the skills to, because my master craftsmen are getting old. So I am thinking of succession planning. But unfortunately,
they don't want to come. So I'm sure within the conversation, we may identify reasons why young people wouldn't want to learn the skill through apprenticeship. And since Nicodemus, the big man, the coordinator, is here, we will share ideas with him how we can help solve the apprenticeship problem, because it is very, very important. As we sit here now, we have skilled labor being imported from Togo, Benin, and Nigeria, especially in the construction and the fashion space. One thing I realize is that when these Togolese come, they don't have any social ties. For them, they are coming to hustle and get the money. But when you employ or when you bring in the Ghanaian, they have a lot of excuses. Somebody has swallowed nail in their village and they have to go. Their mother is sick and they've called them and all that. So I think that this is a very important conversation. And for me, beyond the conversation, the practical step that we would take to solve this problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And before Madam speaks, can we please invite to the stage Mr. Edward Akani, the Partnerships Manager for ALX Ghana. Thank you so much. You're welcome, sir. Okay, so over to you.
I think I would like to. Can you? Hello? I did. Hello? Good. I think this is better. I'd like to actually continue from where Tony just landed. And the big question for me is, why are young people not considering apprenticeship? And it all boils down to our perception of what apprenticeship is all about, the informality nature of apprenticeship, and what we perceive apprenticeship to be over the period. And we over the period, it is only in Ghana that we feel that apprenticeship is for people who have not gone to school or who have not advanced or progressed when it comes to education, or people who are not so good academically. But I kid you not that everything that we see here has to do with TVET skills and apprenticeship. The very chair you are sitting on. So if somebody you think who has not gone to school or progressed academically is the one who made the chair that you are sitting on, how does he get the mathematics right? So it is never true that apprenticeship is for people who have not gone to school. So it's about, really, if we want to look at it in the light of getting more young people, it means that we have to rebrand apprenticeship, make it as attractive enough that people would want to go into it, and then make it as lucrative enough as well. So I very much side with what Mr. Sanaya said, and very much in Kumasi, because we did some work in Kumasi, and it's one of the bane of master craftspersons, passing on the skill to the younger generation. I kid you not, most people don't want to learn a skill now because it's so long-term, and all the come and work in my home, all the things around apprenticeship doesn't make it attractive enough. So betting pays. Being a mate even pays quickly than go into apprenticeship for 3 years before you get some substantial money. So I think if we are looking at the conversations around apprenticeship, we really have to go deep down to know what is not making the young people, make apprenticeship attractive enough for them to come into that space.
Okay, thank you so much. I think you've answered one of the biggest questions here about some of the misconceptions that we have. And Ghanaians do very well in that department, attaching misconceptions to everything. So to my next question, and this time, okay, I have a new person on the far left, so we'll go back. In our world today as young people, one of the things, one of the words you cannot leave out of your vocabulary is trending. What is trending? And trends are changing every day, from geopolitics to technology. And I would want to know, in your opinion, looking at the future of work, how critical do you think digital and green skills are integrating digital and green skills into traditional apprenticeship to ensure continued relevance? So.
Okay, I think these days technology is changing almost every industry, whether manufacturing, whether fast-moving consumer goods, whatever the industry may be, digitization is the way to go. And so as young people, as Ghanaians, one of the things that you want to look at is how relevant are you when it comes to tech? How digitized are you? How are you able to use tech skills or apply yourself? And you know, when AI started, a lot of people were thinking or saying that AI is going to replace their jobs or AI is going to take their jobs. But when you keenly look at it, you'd realize that if you have the right skill set, if you have the right digital skills, you will not be taken out of job. You would rather be more productive. You'd rather find yourself being able to apply yourself in different ways. So I think that the good thing about tech, the good thing about digitization is that it allows you to be more relevant. It allows you to be more productive. It allows you to even fit different holes or opportunities. So one of the key things really is, what digital skills do you have, or what digital skills are you able to apply in whatever thing that you are doing? So whether you are in the manufacturing space, whether you are in the fast-moving consumer space, whatever industry you find yourself in, what are the digital skills that you can use to be better at the work that you do? What are the digital skills that you can use to be more competitive? If you find yourself in a place where you are competitive, you are able to bring on board new ways of working, you're able to get things done faster, you become more competitive, you become more employable, you become more marketable, and you're even able to venture into building your own business. So I think what digitization does, or what tech does, is that it brings that relevance. It makes you ahead of the competition. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'll direct this question to Mr. Abdul. Okay, so can you, I think you mentioned early on how that you have 30% theory and 70% practical. So can you give us a deeper dive into what the curriculum looks like, what is the objective, and yeah, that's it. How is it taught for those of us who are interested?
So the National Apprenticeship Program is driven by some existential challenges over the period. Some have already been alluded to. There is an overwhelming unemployment rate amongst young people. Even those that are in some forms of employment are underemployed because the magnitude of competence is not commensurate with expectation. There are skills gaps because people come out of formal education and industry needs are not met because what is taught in the classroom significantly is variant from what is expected from industry. There's an absence of standardization because most of the informal sector learning through apprenticeship have been from what level of skill the mastercraft intends to transmit to the learner. So you may find that you have a shoemaker from Upper West region training another person to make shoe. Now we have horseman shoe in Kumasi. The level of competence of those training in horseman shoe and level of competence in those training in Upper West are not equal. And so there's no standardization in what is taught because there's no curriculum that directs that Unit 1 should say, learn how to cut a certain pattern of leather. And so we've had apprenticeship over the period, but because there's been no curriculum, there's no standardization, so quality of the products have varied over the period. And it's one of the things that have accounted for the lack of confidence or perceptions that surround what apprenticeship should be. And so the current National Apprenticeship Program under this government is the first time in its kind. It's comprehensive in nature. We have had apprenticeship program before anyway, but this one is structured. And as I said, the structuring has a national perspective, regional and district level perspective. At the national level, we have an implementation committee that has TVET service on the implementation committee. We have CTVET on it. We have the Federation of Professional Trade Associations on it. We have all the GA, Ghana Enterprise Agency. We have NAIP on it because the idea is not just to provide skill training, but to provide a sustainable mechanism where skills that are provided are translated
into sustainable job opportunities. Target groups are people that are aged 15 to 40 years. We have specific gender inclusion mechanisms, and so we have a minimum of 40% targeting females, a minimum of 5% targeting persons with disability. And the program is also deliberate about refugees. Refugees may not be Ghanaians, but they live in our communities. And if they are not productive, they will contribute to crime rates and other social discomfort and menace in the country. There is a deliberate target of prison inmates. There's recidivism. You have people coming out of the prisons and cyclically going back, while probably they get in there, come out with nothing to do. They will find a way of going back to eat free, not pay light bill. And of course, they are not beating the prisons. And so there's a deliberate target population. Now, the implementation structure and mechanism is such that we recruit mastercraft persons and training providers like Horseman Shoe, other entities that have competencies to provide that. The people we contract or mastercraft persons must have CTVET accreditation. That shows that they have the competence level to be able to transmit the same skills to the learner. Because at the secretarial level, you might say you're a plumber. I am unable to testify that you have competencies to transmit the same skill at some standardized level. So the regulatory body assesses you and gives the individual an accreditation and comes to inspect your workplace and provide a workplace accreditation such that the workplace is conducive for persons with disability, is gender friendly, and provide a sensitive environment for learning. In the learning processes, government is taking the full cost of training. In the process, we are paying to ensure that there's retention and attrition is lower. Every month we pay the apprentices a stipend. We provide the learning tools, and so if you lead brown paper or a tape measure, a sewing machine as a seamstress in the learning process, the program is providing that for you to learn. When you complete the program at graduation, we start you up with a comprehensive toolkit that you need to start on your own as a seamstress or as a plumber or as a mechanic or as a shoemaker. There are exit strategies. That is where the skills is now translating to the enterprises or entrepreneurship. Not everybody can be an entrepreneur. And so once you graduate from us, CTVET gives you a standardized certificate. With that certificate, you qualify to enter any of the security services, be it the military, fire service, because their uniforms are not bought in the market. They are sewn in the barracks. The military have vehicles that are maintained. Mechanics maintain them. The mechanics are not those in the magazine. They recruit them. And so with our standardized CTVET certificate on our national apprenticeship program, you can get into any of the security services. However, those that want to practice privately, two exit mechanisms exist. The first one, if you want to start an enterprise, we modulate you into the Ejumawura program, where you are provided with a startup capital. Already we provide you the startup kit. There is a second model, those that do not want to transform into bigger businesses, but they want to get self-employed and train others. The YEA has a portal that networks, and generally in Ghana, the informal service delivery system is through networking, referral services. So when you need a plumber, you call a friend to ask, do you have any good plumber? And so we are building a system that operates just like the Uber system, where if you need a ride, you simply go onto a portal and you book a ride. In the same way, the YEA is collaborating with other agencies, and there are third parties that we are envisaging to partner with, such that if you need the services of our beneficiaries, you go into the system, make your requests, make your quotations. And ours is multidimensional because it is not just the artisan you have access to. You are going to be having access to other service providers that provide the ancillary materials. If it is wiring, for instance, somebody supplies the cables, but the artisan may not have the cables to come with. And so you go into the same platform, that person supplies the cables in through the system,
At the end of the day, the payment is done into the system. Taxes get paid, the supplier gets paid, the artisan also gets paid. So in a nutshell, there's 70% of time that you have for practical learning. 30% of the time you get soft skill learning from a classroom setting, and some may be through digital platforms televised for people to learn from.
Wow, I thought that answer was going to get a hand of applause. That is very articulate. I love the fact that it is inclusive. Refugees get to be there, inmates get to be there. That's wonderful. So I'll move to Mr. Twain. I am personally interested in hearing your story, and I want to know from your direct experience, what is the most significant gap that you see in young people? You already spoke about the fact that they are unwilling to submit to apprenticeship. What skills gap do you see when it comes to young people in the industry?
All right, thank you. Before I come to that, let me add on to something that Madame said about the perception, being that apprenticeship or vocation is for people who did not do well in school or who couldn't get the opportunity to go to grammar schools. I went to preparatory school in Kumasi. I went to Prempeh College, and I came to the University of Ghana, where I even did student politics. So I finished 2007 as SRC president of the University of Ghana. So I have the opportunity to be anywhere that I wanted to be. So I normally say this to tell people that you don't necessarily have to have bad grades before you go into apprenticeship or vocations. What education will do for you is to make it better. I am not the first shoemaker in Ghana, but with the little thing that I learned and with my education, I just blew it up through digitalization, technology. And most of the times when we mention technology, we think of the big stuff. No. Something as little as social media, Facebook. Something as little as WhatsApp. I see people who do stuff and I ask them, send me a picture. Oh, I don't have a picture of it, but you have WhatsApp. So it's the basic, the little things, you know. So back to the question, what have been my observation throughout my experience with young people? The biggest challenge has been attitude. Attitude. Young people have a huge potential, opportunities ahead of us, but we don't have the right attitude towards work. The work ethic is very, very poor. Sometimes we may think that even the master craftsmen who have had little education may be the problem as a result of not having education. But you would deal with graduates and you realize that their attitudes are even worse than somebody who has been just a GSS graduate. So yes, if you ask me, it is attitude. And to solve this attitude, I have always said that it should be a national campaign. It should be a serious national campaign, like we are campaigning against road accidents, like we are campaigning against red. It should be a national campaign. Our main challenge is attitude. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, for instance, you give someone work. You have timelines. And indeed, when I come to you, I want 50 pairs. I ask you, when can you finish? I don't even give you my time. Oh, I can finish in 2 weeks. I agree, because I have been around for a very long time. So I understand if I even push you to do a week, you will still lie to me. 2 weeks will come. The work is not done. They will not even call you back. They are not even answering your phone. And my region is peculiar. Kumasi, midweek, they abandon the work. They are going for a funeral. There was a guy I used to work with. When I paid him on Friday or Saturday, he will come back on Monday with hangover. And when I get angry, he rather sees you as not being empathetic. But I said, Thomas, wabo. You know, and they always complain. They want to take the easy way out. I'm working with one guy now. When you give him the work, hey, boss, what are you doing? I tell him, no, don't give me that negative energy. I will do it with my mom, but you are trained to do it. So always take up the challenge. And with the skills work, the more you do, the more you learn. The more you do, the more you learn. We take students from KNUST. as part of the academic work, they have a 10-week industrial attachment. When they come, I tell them, look, my master craftsmen are very skilled. They may not have the academics, but I'm sure they know the work more than your professors. When you come, humble yourself and learn from their feet. When you acquire the skills, add it to your degree and become the boss. But whilst you are here, show humility. When they say cut this way, cut that way, we have had to work with a lot of people. When they come, they don't want to learn because they think they know too much. But trust me, these master craftsmen, Kumasi magazine, they can remold a car, and you would doubt that it was remade here. You know. So, young guys, when you get in, be humble and be willing to learn. In the long run, it is a skill that nobody can take away from you. When you become your own boss, you become your own boss. But once someone gives you the opportunity, work is very difficult to come by. I take work to people, and I take it back all the time. Even now, I cannot even chase certain opportunities because I say that if you don't manage it well, it may even collapse your small credibility that you have had. Because you go and take some huge contract, sublet it to the people who are on your neck wanting opportunities and work. You give it to them, they don't deliver. So we should change our mindset. We should be work conscious. And it is the little things. Communicate. If you can't do it, oh, chief, I said I will deliver on Wednesday, but I can't. You call the person on Tuesday. We cannot do anything. I tell my workers, just let me know. So our attitude is something that we really, 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 really need to work on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Change your attitude, be humble, and learn. So I'll go back to Mr. Edward. Can you tell us how ALX is addressing the disconnect between traditional education and practical skills that young people need to succeed in today's digital economy?
All right. So I think it comes back to what we are still talking about, apprenticeship. In my context, maybe I'll call it internship or opportunities to work with someone that would give you the opportunity to apply the skills that you have acquired. And I like what my fellow panel said when he spoke about being able to apply digital skills, because that's my field, so I'm just trying to relate it to that. If you are acquiring skills that maybe have to do with shoemaking, soap making, things that maybe are kind of like in the informal space, one of the most important things you still need to understand is that there's a need for digital skills. And he made mention of the fact that skills like social media are good to acquire. And these days, AI is like one of the very important skills that you need to know how to use or to apply in your work. And then there's also even data analytics. And I'm saying this because whatever industry you are in or whatever kind of work you are doing, you'd get data. You'd have people come to you and say, do this for me, do that for me. You take records. And that record that you are taking is basically like the foundation of data analytics for you to learn, track, see certain patterns and insights that will help you to make better decision making. And these are skills that you can actually acquire. So this is what will make you different from what the other person has in terms of what they can do. And if you want an opportunity to now get like an internship or to work with a company, these are the things that would count. So for example, with ALX now, we are doing a project where we are placing at least 2,000 people in internship opportunities. And you can imagine the number of people that want these opportunities. We have over 40,000 people that are interested in some of these things. So then the decision is, how do we select the final 2,000 out of this 40,000 plus people? We look at things like the skill set. Apart from the typical things you can do, what are the other things you can do, like the other digital skills that you can do? Like I mentioned, AI, data analytics, and even the attitude bit, which I'm going to delve into soon. So it's very important that whatever space you find yourself in, look at how best to have more skills or digital skills so that you can stay ahead, you can be different, and when the opportunity comes, you now are able to grasp it. And then moving on to the attitude bit, you may think that when it comes to digital skills, attitude is not important, but it's very, very critical. And in this context, I'll talk about the consistency of it. And like he said, you improve your skill sets or you get better by practicing, by doing it over and over again. So consistency is very important. If you pick, for example, someone that wants to be a content creator or someone that wants to be an influencer, you create maybe a YouTube account or you start like a social media campaign or something. Many young people, after you try 1, 2, 3 times, when you fail, you stop. That is where attitude comes in. That's where the right mindset comes in. So even when you are doing something, even when you are acquiring the skills, you would definitely have challenges. You would definitely have hurdles that you would face. And the right attitude and the right mindset is when you tell yourself that I will not give up, I will be consistent. So even if it's not working, you don't stop, you keep pushing. It's just like you taking like a course, a digital skills course. You're taking a training program in data analytics or you're taking a program in AI use cases. It's going to get difficult at some point. And many people here, I'm sure that some of you would bear with me and agree that you've tried to take a course before. After the first, second week, you give up and say that I'm not even doing this anymore. Attitude comes in there. How are you able to persist? How are you able to overcome the challenges that you find yourself in? Sometimes maybe the circumstance you find yourself in may be a hindrance. Maybe you have kids, you are married, you have other commitments that is taking your time. It's being difficult for you. You have to overcome all those kind of things, and that is where attitude comes into play. So attitude is not just about you thinking that you be humble. Humility is very important. To learn, you have to be humble. But beyond that, consistency is also important. And many of the successful people that you'd see today, when you ask them, one of the things that they'll tell you is that consistency. Some people call it grit. Some people call it persistence. Being able to overcome the challenges that would come would help you to be successful. So when you try to apply the skills you have, you get an opportunity to do like an internship, an apprentice opportunity to do something. You're definitely going to have challenges. The way to go is to have the attitude and you tell yourself that I'm not giving up. Even sometimes when you do something and then your master or your boss says that do it this way, do it that way, sometimes you can become upset, you can become angry and say that you won't do it again, you walk away. No, that is not the right mindset. You stay humble, you take feedback, constructive criticism, you take feedback, and you keep going. You don't say that because he spoke in a certain way, you are going to stop the internship or the opportunity that you've been given. No. Humility, persistence, having grit, and you keep pushing, you keep learning, and that is what will make you different. And you see, these are the things that make people stand out, because there are so many people out there that want opportunities, but why will one person be selected over the other person? Some of these little things, the attitude and being able to apply yourself, having extra skills that will make you different and stand out. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Edward. Today they are shaking tables. Attitude, consistency. Okay, so I'd like to come to the only lady on the panel. And the question is, in our bid to not leave anyone behind, I would want to ask, what concrete steps are being taken to reach the marginalized groups in our society? Like we already said, most of the schools, I think while I was preparing for this, I read that most of the institutions are in Accra and Kumasi, Greater Accra and then Greater Kumasi. I want to know, how are we trying to reach the rural youth and other marginalized groups to make it inclusive? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I think that anytime we talk about inclusion, we are always looking at gender. We are looking at persons with special needs. But then that's why we are also happy that the issue of refugees is also coming up. And most of the time, even though most of the time it's more like an agenda, it seems like an agenda of development partners. I think that we've gone past that, we've embraced it, that we don't have to leave anyone behind. Everyone must be able to access opportunities that are available for everyone. Currently in TVET, especially with our public schools, what we are realizing is that the female participation is very low, and especially with what we call the male-dominated areas. So technical courses and trades, most of the time you realize that they became, of course, if you look at the historical backgrounds of technical education and how it was set up, it more or less had a male in mind than a female in mind. And it's reflective of even our structures. So you go to our workshops, you go to a typical TV school, you do not feel that this was kind of intentionally made with a female in mind. And if you go to a typical TV school, you might not even have changing rooms. You might not have a well-segregated, washrooms. So these are some of the issues. So in terms of infrastructure, we are working or making sure that it's kind of bring on more females, especially. Then we are also looking at our program. Sometimes even the pedagogy. A teacher would find a female. So you go to an automobile class, you go to a leather class, you go to a plumbing class, and it is 50 males, 2 females. Then the teacher will say, "You, what are you doing here? Didn't you see the catering class? Didn't you see the fashion class? And you have come here." So in terms of even teacher motivation or demotivation in terms of language, it really plays a role. Then persons with disabilities come in because for us, unlike the grammar schools, we are doing inclusive education. So we are not doing special education. So how do we ensure that our schools, our curriculum, our training materials are such that somebody with special needs can easily access it? So it's one of the things that we are consciously working towards. And then minority groups as well. So how do we ensure that persons who are in the rural areas are also able to access? Of course, we now have like 247 TV schools, but these are even formal schools. When we are talking about TV, we are not just talking about formal, we are talking about the informal as well. So the mastercraft persons, the apprentices, and all that. Then we have the private TV schools as well. And we are mandated to ensure that we manage all programs and then the policies in relation to TVET. So when it comes to inclusivity, we are very mindful of this to ensure that everyone has access. I think that we will say we are taking baby steps. Apparently, I'm the one in charge of diversity and inclusive education. One of our major problems has to do with persons with intellectual disability. So for people who have physical disability, most of the time it's easy. A simple slab can, make somebody access a classroom. But an autistic child, a child with Down syndrome, and most of the time, in as much as, one of the issues that Mr. Senaya, Tony, raises has to do with attitude. And so these days, as part of the curriculum, we are very much hitting on the soft skills aspect of our trainings. And that is one of the things that we realized was hindering the confidence of TVET graduates in accessing opportunities, that easily somebody who has been to a grammar school, could really access. So one of the key things was to hammer on the soft skills, the literacy skills, so that they'll be able to, put simple reports together. To be able to, I have a friend who is at Cummins, and then he says that for them, the technical people, they want a certain pedigree. And I was making a case, why are you not looking at this and that? He said, no, we would want a supervisor who can put a report together. So it's not just your ability to be practical with what you do, but also this literacy aspect as well. So we are making sure that, yes, as we are training people with the practical skills, they are also able to function wherever they are when they go out as well. So yes, in terms of gender, in terms of persons with a disability, then digital literacy as well. So we talked a lot about the digital literacy. The digital divide, especially those within the urban center and the rural center, is wide. Not all schools have computers. Not all, but even with IC, we have specialized ICT programs, but we're also ensuring that all other programs also have some bits of literacy, digital literacy, to ensure that a catering student or a fashion and design student will be able to do the simulations and the designs on the computer, so that it makes pattern and all those things very much easier for them. So these are some of the steps that we are taking.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Last two questions. The last but one will be directed at Mr. Abdul. In light of the recent funding cuts, both internationally and locally, can you tell us what is being done, what concrete steps are being taken to ensure that there's continuity or sustainability?
Fortunately for us, the National Apprenticeship Program is comprehensively government fully funded. We are not dependent on donors. However, we have made some deliberate and intentional appeals to some donor partners to support specific program directions. The rationale is that every donor that gives you money has a reason for giving you the money. And the donor ambition will never be to your interest. And so the National Apprenticeship Program is deliberate about building Ghanaian youth for the future of Ghana. So whatever donor money comes in is just driven towards specific things. But my last word would be that whilst Tony is grappling with getting people to learn, the biggest challenge I rather have is that I am overwhelmed with the applications. The pilot phase, we targeted to do just 10,000. As I speak, I have over 120,000 applications. It is now a challenge to make people understand the program is rolling. You may not be part of the first cohort or first batch, but you will get onboarded. And that's the biggest challenge we have. And so I think we may need to have some further conversations so that I'll offload some of my beneficiaries to you to help us train. And again, when many hear apprenticeships, they are thinking first of all on fashion and textile trades. They are thinking about the electrical and mechanical trades or cosmetology. But we saw the dance ensemble here. Our programs capture traditional crafts, creatives, and arts. Agriculture is part of it, fish farming, poultry, whatever, every life, daily life is apprenticeship. Keeping home is apprenticeship. But you must first identify who you are. Self-knowledge is key to learning a skill. If you don't understand who you are and what your passions are and what drives you, you might just onboard on our program because we will pay you a monthly stipend or because we will give you a tool at the end of the day. It will not help you. And so I will encourage especially the younger ones that are in senior high school. Before I attended school in the late 80s and 90s, and so I undertook apprenticeship. Every school had a school garden, every school had a workshop, and so I learned how to use hacksaw, I knew how to plane, I knew how to design simple kitchen covers. We don't have it today in our system. But we must make deliberate and conscious efforts to identify wherever you want to be and add a skill to whatever you are learning. Thank you.
Thank you. That was very insightful, and I really doubt that you went to school in the late 1980s. But let's move on. So we would like to wrap.
I finished my first degree in 2006, and I have been lecturing over 18 years, so you can understand.
It's okay. Thank you. Okay, so I'd like us to wrap up and make way for the next session. And this is to everybody on the panel. What would be the nugget of gold you'd like to give to every young person here, every aspiring apprentice, and the entrepreneurs we have in our midst?
For me, it will be two things. Number one is lifelong learning. I believe in lifelong learning. I believe that you never stop learning. And so, whatever opportunity that you have, always look at it as an opportunity to learn. Wherever you find yourself, look at it as an opportunity to learn. Have a humble mindset. Be open to new things, because, you know, things change fast. The world is changing at a very fast pace. Technology is disrupting things. So decide and make a decision. Make a decision that you would be a learner, a lifelong learner. Whatever thing that you are doing or whatever work you are doing, look at different ways or new ways that you can improve and become better at it. And technology, digitization affords you that. So you look at what kind of software you can learn, what kind of digital skills you can acquire to become better with what you are doing. And secondly, is the attitude thing. It's very important. And for me, I believe that attitude is also much connected to being consistent, having the grit to be persistent, even when there are hurdles, even when there are challenges. You don't give up. Yeah, so never quit and keep pushing.
Thank you.
So mine will be briefly, make hay whilst the sun shines. Procrastination is the thief of time. Take the opportunity now. That is my first. Second one, identify your niche. Create that niche. If you're a photographer, do it beautifully. Your name is different. Nobody can be you. And what you can do, no one else can do it.
Thank you.
My final words will be, I will start from the NAP coordinator. In fact, I have learned a lot about the National Apprenticeship Program. I have heard snipers from the news, but I'm happy to know that indeed it is integrated with other programs like the NEIP. My challenge over the years with government programs has been the fact that it has been fragmented. Yes, they all mean well, but if we don't weave it in such a way that it will be connected and we will all solve the same problem, we will just window dress issues and then leave it as it is. And also, I'm also hoping that by the end of the program, we would have solid beneficiaries who would have graduated from the program and have something to show. My issue with the politicians, I said it somewhere and I had a problem, is that they are more interested in the numbers. A tall Excel sheet. Yeah. We have supported X number of people, but for me, beyond the numbers, let's have quality. People that, Nicodemus, when you are done, I can say, I helped XYZ to set up, you know. So we are here to support, and the sky is very big to accommodate a lot of stars. And when you are that one person people refer to all the time, it's even tiring. I remember when I started, I had a lot of media attention because people were fascinated that somebody was doing shoes to that level. And every program you'll be invited. At a point I told them, look, my story hasn't changed. When my story changes, I will come. When I start selling 500,000, 2,000 pairs of shoes in a month, you see the signs that, this guy is making a lot of money. So to my dear young people, my two previous speakers have said it, and I will add that start small. Never despise humble or small beginnings. And trust me, there is nothing new under the sun. Whatever that you want to do, someone might have done and succeeded or failed. Look for them and follow what they did and do yours differently. Thank you.
Thank you so much to the lady on the panel.
They've said it all. I would just add that whatever you are doing now, learn a skill and add to what you are doing. You will not know when it will come handy for you. I've had the opportunity to interact with refugees. God forbid, should there be war right now, the last thing you think about is your certificate. But what you carry with you is your skill. So whatever you are doing, if you're an accountant, whatever, have an added skill. Learn it. Go to the mechanic around. Learn how to spray a car. Learn in Sanujuma something. It will carry you far. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we give them a round of applause? Thank you so much for your time and for the knowledge you have impacted. Is there anyone who would like to ask a question? Okay, two, that's okay. Okay. Please do it within 30 seconds.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Epiphania, I'm a teacher. So when the fundamentals are weak, this is why apprenticeship is not lucrative. As a teacher in the classroom, they say I should integrate the teaching, but I cannot, for example, I'm saying this not to be tagged, but I don't teach creative art into details. I only do the theory aspect because me, myself, I don't know it. So sometimes we stakeholders, let me say it like that, we need to be trained. So what is the government putting in place for such a thing to happen? And secondly, with the apprenticeship program, can government workers enroll on it, even if without support? Can they enroll? Then I think lastly, okay, thank you.
Oh, why did you terrorize it? Okay, so I think Mr. Nicodemus will help us with her questions.
So I'll take it from the last. Government workers, can you enroll? There is a conversation we need to have because the current National Apprenticeship Program has not happened before, and so there's no blueprint. We are building the print, and so as and when new ideas come up, we onboard them, and so it's something we will look at. But on the policy perspective, there's a broader conversation that is going around the National Apprenticeship. The current implementation plan is comprehensively targeting the informal training. However, the formal perspective, which is the 30%, is supposed to be taught by facilitators like you. And the facilitators need to understand the practicals to be able to teach it. So the conversation we've been having around the National Apprenticeship Program is that in the next 5 years, where do we have apprenticeship? Must it be from the informal sector, or do we need to ensure that in all forms of education we have apprenticeship? Just like the medical fields do. If you are doing medicine, definitely you have to do some apprenticeship in the facility. If you are doing nursing, you do rotation. Those in the business units engaged with other people. So it's a broader conversation, and I'm sure that by next year, we would have been able to broker government's attention to it to ensure that, like national service, which is a form of apprenticeship, it becomes compulsory by law, postulated that whatever program you run as an institution, there must be an embedding of apprenticeship, like what Germany does. And so you see that Germany is touted as the best engineering technology through apprenticeship. Can we get there? Yes, we can. Can we be deliberate about it? Yes, we can, and we must. And if we have life, this current program, as he alluded to, is not supposed to just churn out figures. I'm a politician, but I'm interested in sustainability because I'm a development practitioner. I'm not running the program as a politician. I'm running the program as a developer, and we must ensure that 2 years after you have graduated, we monitor and ensure that there's sustainability in the mechanism.
Thank you. I'm Portia. I am an officer for, pardon? Okay. An officer for National Youth Authority, West. We have been doing the registration for the past months. I just want to ask you, so please, what's the percentage given to each district for them to enroll into the NAP program? And what percentage is given to the young women there? That's just what I want to know.
Right. We do not have district quotas. It's a national program. Women is 40% minimum, but so far, all the applications that have come, 70% are women. And the shortlisted, we have close to 70% women because of the trade areas. We even have women that are into welding. And so when we have females in a male-dominated trade area, it's compulsory for that person to be recruited. Again, the persons with disability that have been recruited, the chunk of them are females. We don't have quotas for district because at the end of the day, you'll be tailoring the program for the politician. If you make it district level, then it means we have to come back to DCEs and MPs and party chairmen to determine who gets benefits. That's why it's online, and we have the manual application. But even the manual applications are translated, digitized, and put back into the system. All we ask is, who is a mastercraft in Wild West, Wichau, for instance? If the mastercraft gives your digital location as Wichau Clinic, I go into the system and see who is an apprentice that is willing to learn hairdressing and lives in Wichau. Then I match that person to you, and our system directs my district coordinator to collaborate with you, reach out to those people. They go through an orientation, and then onboarding begins. And so there are no district coordinators. But anyone that has applied, you don't need to reapply. Your application is still valid. And next year, we'll be doing 100,000 plus in 4 years. My mandate is to train not less than 500,000 young people. We are committed to it. We will deliver. This year, instead of the 10,000, we have shortlisted over 20,000 and matriculated over 4,000 mastercrafts. Not all of them will start at a go. We are onboarding the first 10,000, assigned five apprentices to mastercraft because it is pilot. We don't need to give them lots of numbers. We monitor, learn from the challenges. By December, we would have done a second cohort. Training duration range between 2 to 4 months for the short-term programs like bead making, 4 to 12 months for medium term, and 12 to 18 months. However, for the pilot phase, no program is going to 18 months. We are terminating all of them between 9 and 12 months. The rationale being, for our program, an apprentice will not cook for a madam. Apprentices are not housemates. They will not pick your children from school, and there are rules and regulations. You break the rules, we drop you and enroll another person. Discipline is key to our program.
Thank you, sir. I think we'll end it here. Thank you so much for your time. I enjoyed the conversation. The next session, the agric people. Okay.
Yeah, so the agri session is coming up. Yes. You are the one going to facilitate that one?
I have not seen the facilitator. So.
No problem, you can take it over. Sorry. There are 2 sessions for this one. The first session has just ended. The second session, which is very, very interesting. I can promise you that it's 3. Yes, sir. Yeah, group 1. Okay. They are in session. Yes. So please, if that is the case, can we come back in the next 40 minutes to take the session? Very, very interesting. If you don't come back, you lose a lot.